Okay.
We're good to go?
Mhm.
Okay. I'm calling the meeting to order. It is November 18th at 10:01 a.m. This is a special meeting. I do need to add one more item, healthcare contributions. The first item on the agenda is board authorization to sign the grant contract for the Minor Street Rhode Island Park project and the MOU with the village. We talked about this at our last regular meeting. It was tabled to allow for the opportunity for the board to review the contract. I have since spoken to the mayor about the getting the MOU updated. He sent it to Jerry Ducharme, and I'm waiting to receive some type of draft back from them as well. So, does anybody have any questions or comments about this?
Yeah, I do. I would like to just state for the record that at the last meeting, I wrongly said that the contract had not been sent out prior to the meeting, and in fact it was. I went back through my email and it was there unopened, so I apologize for that, and thank you.
Okay, I did ask Lee to join us in case the board had any questions, any specific questions about the contract. I have met with Lee and Jenny on Monday to review the entire document in anticipation of this moving forward. And so I just want to, does anybody have any questions of Lee regarding the contract or the project? Okay.
The scope of work for the town, I mean, I'm not really in a position to comment on the village part, but the town part looked in line with the application and what we're expecting.
Okay, excuse me, I'm just gonna turn this down. Okay, so it's my understanding from what we talked about at the last meeting, and I just want to be clear. It's the intent of the board to authorize me to sign the contract pending approval of both boards of the MOU with the village first. Is that am I clear on that?
I mean, ideally, but is that going to line up with our deadline for signing the contract?
Well, Lee and I had talked about that because the original deadline was November 4th, but it didn't fall in line with when we were having the board meeting, so they extended it to November 20th. And she said that that's common, that it's okay. They'll just extend it again. Lee, do you want to talk to that a little further?
Yeah, in my experience, I think that they give you a deadline. Obviously, they want to continue to push things through and keep things moving. But if you're unable to meet the deadline that they've suggested, I think it just kind of goes into a tickler system. And if you haven't done it, they send you a new date. So I don't have a lot of concern. Obviously, if we can move it forward, let's do that. But if we aren't able to do it by the 20th, I think it would not be an issue.
Okay. Yeah, I guess my only hang up is setting some sort of double standard, because I mean, we've hung up, we require MOUs with the Village of Rensselaer Falls, for example, for $3,000 and $4,000 projects. And here we are with a $300,000 agreement, and we have no agreement in place. And so I don't want to be sending mixed messages to our departments that we need MOUs for this, but not necessarily for that. So I don't know what to say about it. I know we tried and we gave it to the village with enough lead time, but and it hasn't turned around. But I just want to be careful of mixed messages as we talk about MOUs for other situations going down the road. It's not that I don't trust the village. I just don't want to send the wrong message to the other departments about MOUs.
So the village is meeting tonight and I'm looking at their agenda and it doesn't appear to be on there. And I could certainly ask the mayor if it's gonna be talked about tonight.
I reached out to Carol and she says it's hung up with Jerry. So what hung up at an attorney doesn't sound like there's still confusion on language, in my opinion, right?
Well, and Jerry wanted the additional language to include the amounts, so.
I'm excited for the contract and the project, and I want to get moving on it, but, you know, MOUs, as stated previously, are important, so there's no miscommunications after the fact.
So does somebody want to make a motion?
Well, I'm fine with authorization to sign the contract once our legal counsel is satisfied with the MOU. That's a motion.
All right, is there a second?
Second,
Any further discussion? Any questions?
So the signing of the contract is contingent on the MOU being signed by both? Or are we signing a contract and saying we're moving ahead with a contract, the MOU will follow? I just want to be clear on that.
Well, Tim,
I understood it as we're good with it as long as legal is good with it. That's what I heard Tim say.
I heard him
right?
say that I can't sign until the MOU is past the litmus test from everybody.
That's what I
At
was.
least, at least until we're satisfied with the MOU,
That's,
whether or not it's actually signed and executed or not. If we say, yeah, the MOU looks good, then good with the
Okay.
contract at that point.
just so I'm clear,
Well,
I sign the contract until the MOU is executed. Is that the motion?
Yes.
That's our general intent, right?
Okay, all right.
Mary Ann, can I just ask you, how long ago did you send that original draft to the village?
When we applied for the grant,
And just help refresh my memory, is that a year ago?
And the response was, let's wait and see if we get it, right? And so when we got the notice in December, I followed up, I think January, February, saying, we got to get that MOU done. And so, and then Jerry revised the draft, and then I've just held on to it. And then the next thing is he wants the numbers. So I sent them the numbers. So
Okay.
I mean, I have no problem, and I talked to this with Lee yesterday. I said, I have no problem with us still holding it, but I would like to have a communication to Mary Beth at the state saying this is the reason why. We intend on signing. We just have to get this MOU done for a subcontract with the village. So I have no problem communicating that with the state.
and
Do you want to
I-
send an email, Marianne, or would you like me to email her and just let her know what the status is?
Well, let me get the vote first.
Okay.
done, and then we'll go from there. Jim, I'm sorry.
All right, and so the deadline on the signing of this is the 20th,
Yes.
like as in tomorrow? Or whatever it is, Friday?
Yeah.
All right, and I know you said it, Lee, and that's fine. The only thing that concerns me with the state of New York, the way it is, we're a long ways into this Minor Street project, and I don't see us being able right now to turn back. And this money is really important to that project moving forward. I don't want to miss a deadline that could cause us a problem. So with that being said, if you can reach out to the state and the state says, yeah, this isn't, when you get your MOU signed, that's fine. But if we're not signing this contract until next week or 2 weeks from now, I want to be absolutely certain that that is fine with the state.
So we have a motion, we have a second.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if it's going to be an issue with the state, then we need to make it not an issue with the state.
Would you like me to email her right now and see if she responds promptly while we're in this meeting?
Sure.
Thank you, Lee. That would be helpful.
Thank you.
If there's any chance that we or the village lose this money, we should probably move forward. I mean, I don't think we should give the state any opportunity to make them think we're thinking twice about this.
I would sooner take my risk. If I'm going to take a risk, I would sooner take my risk on the MOU than on the money than on the money that's attached to it. We can fight with the village forever, and we can get the MOU. I just don't want to put the money at risk, considering the time and the effort we put into that. And now we got 6 easement agreements that were not easy to get. They've all been signed. I don't want any problems. I'd rather the MOU be the problem than us not signing the grant for the deadline.
And I don't think it's gonna be a problem getting the MOU, because the way it's structured, same with the BOA, they're spending their money.
Well,
Right.
yeah,
And so I don't think it's gonna be a problem. So
just to be clear, I have no concern that we're going to be able to work out the details with the village. It's the optics for the other departments and other situations where we didn't move on something until we had an MOU. I think, if we're going to require it, we just need to be conscious of that across the board. And but I understand this is a situation where exception might need to be made, but
Well,
I-
it's a situation where an exception shouldn't have to be made. And I don't know why wasn't this on our, we just had a joint meeting with them a week ago. Well, this should have all been taken care of. And like you say, it shouldn't take a year to get an MOU with another municipality that's in the same damn building. I mean, that part of it is unfortunate when it comes to these sorts of things. But you're absolutely right, Bob. It does not send the right message when we start doing things like this. And I think on some of the MOUs, we could probably get away with it. I'm nervous about this one because of where the money's coming from and how far we've gotten into it.
I agree with all that. And I rescind my motion and make a motion that the supervisor, authorize the supervisor to sign the contract with the state.
I'll second that.
all right, any further questions or discussions? So Heidi, you got that? Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, carried. Thank you. So Jenny and I will be meeting on Friday morning for me to sign that. We might be able to change that to tomorrow. I'm not sure, Lee, is Jenny in?
Yes,
She's in today?
she's in today. Let me think about tomorrow. I feel like she might have an appointment or something, but she will be in at some point during the day tomorrow. We can talk about when's a good time.
I mean, we scheduled for Friday morning at 9,
Yep.
but if we can change that to tomorrow, let's do that and get this out, okay?
Yeah, there's just a couple of things we had to do some research on, and I can maybe talk to her about getting that done today.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We'll firm that up after the meeting.
Okay, sounds good. Where'd Bob go? Okay. The next item is healthcare contributions. I just wanted to add this on because at the last regular meeting, we discussed it, and Jim and I have since spoken with legal counsel about, our specific questions as far as contributions. And the original recommendation was about 35% for retirees upon retirement. We're recommending moving it up to 50%. So Jim, do you want to add into that?
No, I think, given the fact that the comptroller's office is going to continue to flag you on the fact that we're not following the terms of a contract that says that that's what the contribution is supposed to be. It's something that has been discussed, and we've been reluctant to do anything with it. We're trying to be as, we're trying to be as easy as we can about this, but the fact of the matter is the time has come where it's no longer a thing that we can just, flip-flop in our own heads about. It's the pressure is there to do what's right, and I think that's what we need to do. We got to get it right, and I think we got to do it in time for any of the retirees, if they want to look at something different than the town, that they have the opportunity to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yep, open enrollment. So Tim and Bob?
Well, my only question is, do we need a motion or a vote in order to
Well,
become compliant with what is written in our policies and contracts and with the state audit? If we do, then we'll go through it. But
to answer your question, remember we were going to look at 3 different resolutions at our last meeting. We tabled all of them. This really should be a decision by resolution. So I'd like to put that back on the agenda for December. Because we're also looking at amending the non-contract policy and then establishing the
okay,
for the town clerk and town supervisor, or highway superintendent. So I just wanted to make sure it was on record that we're all in agreement with that, and that formal action can be taken at the December meeting.
I'm good. I'm good.
yep.
Okay. All right, very good. With that being said, we need a motion to go into executive session for Public Officers Law 103F. I need a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Okay.
Second by Jim Smith. Lee, thank you for joining us. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
All right. Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks.
Okay.
Stop recording.
Sorry, it's my first time. Okay.
He texted me too.
Is that you, Adam? Is that you, Adam?
He texted me and said,
Okay,
may have
apparently,
walked away.
maybe he hung up. Okay,
will you be available for a quick call today at some point to go over the meeting outcome?
okay. So we're recording and he's in the meeting. So just so you know,
He's in the meeting?
at least virtually, whether he's paying attention or not, I have no idea.
Last call, Adam, if you got a question or something.
Adam, I'll call you when I can. So it is 11:36. I need a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Motion, second.
Second.
Dana Heath, Bob Washoe, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All right, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Have a good day.